spoiled, oh you must be so spoiled, oh you must be this. No, I'm not. Please. Like, no. What is good, Nation? How's everybody doing? So basically today I'm coming to you with a very interesting video because as we all know I'm an only child and everybody has a lot of assumptions about that, but I'm going to clear the air and I'm going to actually tell you the truth about how this actually is. So yeah, but if you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe so you can become part of the Nation because Tapapenga, you know what it is. So basically, I'm an only child. Basically, that means I don't have siblings. I am the only child that my parents had. I'm one. But let's actually talk about this because I feel like there's a lot of skepticism and a lot of just like gray area in what people actually think about like only children and about like what actually goes on in our lives. So I'm gonna fix that. So the first one, right? If you're a parent, please don't get triggered by this, okay? But you know how sometimes parents can be unreasonable or like annoying, like they're not perfect, you know what I'm saying? So you're gonna get to a stage where they like annoy you or something, right? You literally have no one to rant to about that when you're an only child. Like literally, you know like how you have siblings, right? Well, I assume this is how it is. Maybe your mom comes into your room and she says something that like annoys you, and then you tell your sibling, and you're like, oh, bro, can you imagine like what is that? Blah 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 type vibes, right? Ow. I can't do that. Only children can't do that. We literally just have to rant to ourselves and just move on with it because there's literally no one to rant to. Like, it's annoying, I'm not gonna cap, it's annoying a bit. The next thing is that a lot of people like to be like, only children are spoiled brats. What? What? Well, guess what? So are a lot of other normal people out there who have siblings, but you don't hear us complaining about it 24/7. No, you don't, okay? So, not all of us are spoiled brats. You know, some of us are actually down-to-earth people who are genuine, who have manners, who care about other people, okay? So don't be walking around saying that only children are spoiled brats. Not all of us are, okay? Like, and that's on period. For me, I hate it when I'm like, yeah, no, I don't have any siblings or whatever, and then someone is like, oh, you're a spoiled brat. Oh, you're spoiled. Oh, you must be so spoiled. Oh, you must be this. No, I'm not. Please, like, no. The one thing about being an only child is that you love hanging out with like bigger families. Like, oh my goodness, it's the best feeling ever because just seeing like the family dynamics and how the family deals with each other when there's so many people is just so interesting, and seeing like siblings interact with each other and parents dealing with like siblings differently, and it's just so interesting because as an only child, like you've never seen that before in your life. Like you're coming from a place where like you're the only child that's there to be handled. Like you literally don't have to think about anyone else except yourself because you're the only one there, right? It's actually just insane. Like it's so cool to watch bigger families or to just be like in a bigger family environment where there are like a lot of people. So you just feel like, you know, you're part of like a big family. I can definitely relate to that one. And that's on period. Then this one for me is like 100%, like I can so relate. So basically, as like only children, we like we're closer to our friends. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we treat them like the brothers and sisters we've never had before. Like just normal acquaintances are not enough for us, you know, like we need like I'm on the phone a lot to talk to this person type of vibes, like because we don't have brothers and sisters. Like our friends are the closest thing that we have, and so like we really like invest a lot into our friendships and stuff like that and give people time because we really don't have anyone else to give it to. Like we don't have siblings or whatever, so it's just kind of like, okay, well you're my friend and I'm gonna be really really close to you because you're my friend, okay? And I don't have siblings. Then the next one is like, as only children, like we don't mind being alone just because that's the way we've grown up. Like we grow up when we're old enough to have our own room. We don't share a room with anybody, you know, like we go to school by ourselves, no siblings. Our parents come and pick us up. we get into the car by ourselves, no siblings. Like, we're so used to being alone, and we're actually just so okay with being alone. Like, for me, I can like 100% relate. Like, I am so okay with being alone. Like, I can be alone in my room for like 2 straight days and not even think about like being with anyone. But then I get to a stage where like I need human interaction. But like I'm so used to being alone. Like, I'm okay, you know. And you know how like sometimes you see someone in public or like at a movie by themselves, or sorry, at a movie by themselves, or like in a restaurant by themselves, or something like that, right? And you actually might think that, oh my goodness, this person is so lonely. Oh my goodness, are they okay? They're actually fine. If they're an only child, they're actually okay. They're actually just thinking about what they want to watch and what they want to eat, and they're just so used to being alone. Like, we're so used to it. Like, we are old souls. Let me explain. As only children, most of our interactions outside of school are with adults. Our parents' friends, I don't know, just adults, you know, like most of the time. And because of this, we end up maturing a bit faster than the people that are like our age, a bit faster than our peers, and we end up acting a bit more mature than them as well. So like, we're old souls, you know, like I don't act like I'm 17 because most of the time I'm not around 17-year-olds. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, exactly. But that's just how it is, and I think it's kind of a plus for us. Because I think maturity is definitely like a really good thing, but like let's not go into that, but then like that's what I think. We are sensitive. We are a little sensitive. We are sensitive. It is what it is. Because we don't have like siblings or whatever, like we didn't grow up with like, how do I explain? We didn't grow up being teased or being made fun of, or just, you know, like we didn't grow up with that. So it's like, we're very sensitive about like what people say to us, and like we really take things to heart sometimes, because it's like we didn't like grow the thick skin that everybody else did when they had siblings. Like when your sibling was making fun of you, I was alone in my room like speaking to my friend or like watching a movie or whatever. Like, I don't have the thick skin that you have. Next one is we are obsessive. Let me explain this to you. Because we don't have distractions, because like no one's ever really distracting us in our bedrooms, but whatever we do, we kind of just put all of our concentration into it, and like we like to make sure that everything is perfect and that we're doing everything right and that it's proper, and we just dive into whatever we're doing. So whether it be a hobby or like reading, like for me, when I read, I am dead to the world. Like, you can call me 2 times and I'll probably hear you the second time, because when I'm reading, like I'm so in it, like I'm so like deep in the book, you know what I'm saying? So like tend to be obsessive like that, because we really just don't have that many distractions in our lives. Like, yeah. Most of the time we're trying to please our parents. Now I would say that I've kind of grown out of this, because I mean, as you become your own person, you kind of grow out of it, and you just kind of like, you know what, I am who I am, it is what it is, let's move on. But only children do tend to try and always please their parents, just because like you're the only child, like you are the only hope that your parents have, you know, like, because first of all, we spend a lot more time with our parents than other children do, just because we're only children. And like, we also just have like, we're so attached to our parents, and no one, like, we don't want to make them like not proud, like we just want to make them proud. That's just how it is. And so you find like most of the time an only child is always really like trying to please their parents if they're still in that like phase, and it is what it is. Like, and then the next one is 100% scolding. When you do something wrong in the house, you get all of the anger. You get the whole conversation, the whole scolding, everything, you get it. And you also don't have anyone else to blame. Like, you can't be like, oh, that wasn't me, that was Cynthia. Oh, that wasn't me, that was Miranda. Oh, that wasn't me, that was Kandai. You know, like, you don't have anyone to blame like that. So if something is wrong, it's probably you, and you're gonna get every single bit of shouting at that you deserve. And that sucks. Like, that actually sucks. Like, I can relate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can 100% relate. Is, guys, we like, unless as an only child you're taught like it's engraved into your mind to share, you don't automatically share something because you're the only child. Like, we've never had to share anything with anyone in our lives. If there's food, it's my food. If I'm in my room, I'm in my room doing what I want with my phone and my laptop and my bed. Like, I don't have to share anything with anyone. It's not because we don't want to share. It's not because we're just mean people. But it's genuinely because, like, we've never really had to share in our lives, you know, like, we're not used to it. It is what it is. Like, it's just kind of like, oh. Like, for me, constantly, like, when I'm with other people, I constantly have to remind myself to share, to think about other people's feelings, to think about what they're gonna think, to think about, like, their well-being, to put them first, to actually think about someone else. Because when you're an only child, like, your mind is always just programmed to you. Literally, like, it's literally just programmed to yourself, like, to think about yourself. Because there really is no one else to think about. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is this video. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, I've gone blank. But if you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so that you can become part of the Shana because Tanapinga, you know, we are lit. And I'll see you in my next video.